Deciding to get a miniature pinscher will be one of the best decisions of your life. But owning a miniature pinscher does cost some money up front. So how much does it really cost? So in today's video, we're going to discuss the cost to acquire your miniature pinscher from a breeder or other source. We're going to talk about the supplies you're going to need and the costs that go with them. And finally, we're going to talk about those first veterinarian visits that you're going to have to take them to and what that's going to cost you as well. Hey guys, welcome back to Min 10 Nation. The first thing we're going to be talking about here is what does it really cost to actually buy a miniature pinscher? Now that is a question that has that ever answer that no one really wants to hear, but it depends. There's a wide variety of costs that you could find for a miniature pinscher, and that's going to depend on what region you're at, whether you're here in the United States where I'm filming, and even within the United States, a different state, and also obviously if you're abroad, it can vary as well. But I went to one of the many great Facebook groups on the Min Pin breed, and I went on there and I asked a simple question on what you paid for your Min Pin. Now I got a variety of answers. I put some up there and got even more answers than I even actually expected. So everyone that participated in it, thank you very much if you're a part of that poll. But looking at it over here, pulling them up right now, you actually will see that the average that we got really alluded to between the $100 to $500 and then $500 to $1,000. That was the biggest range. Now I put in there even $1,000 and greater, and I got a lot of responses talking about also that they were able to get them for free and also that they got them for about $100 or less. If you're looking to get a miniature pinscher, the good news is that there's a budget that will fit anyone, or any budget you have, you'll be able to find that miniature pinscher for you. But on average, we found that most people bought it between $500 and $1,000, or like I said, or $100 to $500. So to kind of put it right in the middle, we're going to say the average would be $500 is what you most likely will need to have in order to find that min pin. Now, I will say as a caveat, if you're looking whether to at a rescue, hopefully you can get one cheaper than that. Also, if you're looking to do some type of show dog, and you're looking for that lineage and everything, then it's going to obviously cost you more. There were people that commented that they had it for about $1,500 or greater for the one that they received. So definitely make sure that you know what type of min pin you're looking for up front, but you can really find it for any budget that you're on. So once you've acquired your miniature pinscher, and before you bring them home, you need to make sure that you get all the supplies that you need. And those have some costs as well. So one of the first ones you need to consider is the food that you're going to be using for your miniature pinscher. Now, most breeders are going to supply some type of food for you to take home with you. But if they don't, then you need to make sure that you buy at least a very small portion of the food that they have been feeding to them at their home, because you don't want to make that switch over without the classic mixing them together and doing it gradually. So even if you don't choose to use the food that they were already eating, make sure that you at least have a small portion on hand. Now, when it comes to getting that initial food for your min pin, I'm a big proponent of using some type of dry food, or maybe wet canned food to start off. Now, there are some raw diets out there that people use, but unless you're experienced in doing that, you're going to have a lot of other stresses going on with having this new min pin in your life. So I would recommend up front to go with some type of dry food, or maybe wet canned food. Now, there's a lot of choices out there, and right now I don't really have a recommendation that I'm going to give you on that right now. We'll put a couple maybe down in the description. But the main thing is to get you something that you can use. Recommend spending probably $15 to $20. So we'll put that down as for the food costs, about $15. Now, along with the food, the next thing you're going to need is some treats. Now, make sure you buy treats that are different than the type of food that you're going to get for your dog, because it really will help when you do some type of training if they're getting treats that they really don't get the same flavor that they have for their food. It will really help entice them even more during training sessions. Now, don't spend too much on treats right up front. So I'd spend probably about $5 to $10 on a couple bags of treats to make sure you have a variety of that. Now, also with the food, we need to make sure that we get some type of dog bowls. Now, they make some in ceramic, they make the plastic, they make the stainless steel. We use stainless steel for both of ours, just because it's usually the most durable, and it kind of prevents it from getting really chewed on by puppies. Now, those are going to usually run you about $10 to $20 depending on what type of setup you want to get for that. You need to make sure you get a leash and a collar. Now don't spend too much on these. They're going to get chewed on, they're going to get rolled all over and everything. So make sure that you just spend probably no more than $10 to $12 on a leash and a collar. Wouldn't really worry about a harness up front because they're probably gonna be way too small to try to use anything like that. Okay, toys. We do want to talk about toys. So toys are very important for a puppy. They need something to chew on. They need something to keep them entertained. So having lots of toys is going to be something that you're going to continue to acquire because they're going to chew them up. And so I would get a variety of toys. You don't really know what they're going to like. So I would get rubber toys. I would get the plush toys. But at minimum, make sure that you get toys that are going to go inside of their crate, and you also get toys that may be out in different parts of the house. And they will only get those toys when they're in those different sections of the house. That way they kind of learn to love those toys. That way they don't just get bored with seeing the same thing over and over no matter where they go. But so I would spend probably $20 to $30 up front to get a variety of toys for your min pin to really mess around with. Okay, next on our list here, puppy pads. So not everyone's gonna be using puppy pads, but if that's something that you're gonna consider using in any part of your house training, make sure you get those up front. And usually those are gonna run you about $10 for a package of those. Now, regardless if you're using puppy pads or not, you want to get some type of like Nature's Miracle type of spray, any type of spray that's going to kind of deter them from going to the same spots to pee. Just get some type of spray, usually about $5. You can get it pretty much anywhere. Okay, the last one we want to talk about here is some type of crate. So we do advocate crate training. We did a whole crate training video. We'll link up here. So make sure you go check that out. So I definitely would look at getting a crate. There's a couple different varieties of crates, but usually you're going to be spending about $40 to $60 on the crate. Some people like to get more than one. That way they can have one back in maybe their bedroom, and then they can also have one maybe out in the living room. Up front, I would obviously just make sure you at least get one crate to start right away with your crate training. But if you do want more than one, I definitely would recommend getting that as soon as possible as well. Hey, so if you've been getting value out of this video so far, do me a favor and hit the like button and the subscribe button below, so that way you get every video that we get. We put videos out every week, and so hit the subscribe and the notification bell. That way you get notified of all the future videos as soon as they come out. The next one we need to think about, and usually is one of the most forgotten, is the vet bills. Now these can range because you can do a variety of things with them, but your most basic shots you're gonna need, your doctor visits you're gonna need, is gonna run you about $200 for your initial visit. Now this is gonna get you that doctor exam, this is gonna get you all those initial shots that they need, but the hidden cost you have to remember is puppies need lots of booster follow-ups. So you're looking at about $200 on average for that first visit, and then about every 4 weeks for probably the next 12 weeks, so about 3 months or so, you're going to be looking at about another $100 each to get those booster shots. So your vet bill at the end of all the initial puppy cycle is you're looking at probably between, like I said, minimum $200 for that first visit, all the way up to probably about $600 at the end of it all for every visit along the way. Now, something else you may want to consider is, are you going to be doing any type of microchipping? So microchipping your dog is simply when they place a microchip under the skin of your dog, and there's usually a code that's registered with it, and so if your dog goes missing, then they're able to track them down. Either some are GPS for the actual dog, and then some are if they kind of get turned into maybe to a veterinarian. If they get lost, then they will actually scan them and it will be able to find you. You'll be able to look them up if you lose them. So if you do that and you get it done, it's usually about $40 to $50 to get that done. So once again, that'd be on top of your just initial vet bill as well. Hopefully you've been adding these all up with us and we've been going through the math together here. But what you're roughly looking at on average is about $1,000 to $1,200 to kind of start your journey with your min pin. Now that may seem like a lot, but that's really what you need to kind of get the ball rolling. Now, like I said, you can get started with as little as possible, but especially with the supplies and your vet bills, you need to make sure that you're getting them done correctly and that you're starting their journey with you off on the right foot. Once you've got your min pinned, the next step for you is going to be potty training. So we did a video all about 5 mistakes that you need to make sure to avoid when you're first potty training your miniature pinscher. So we'll link it right over here, so make sure to go out and check out that video next. Thanks for joining us once again. We'll see you in the next video.